let's make some blueberry muffins. Hopefully they turn out. Okay. It's hard to do this, but yeah, because I don't know exactly how to do it and video everything, but we'll video what we can. Okay, you're going to need one, or I'm going to use, and then we'll see how they turn out, and then if they turn out, then maybe you'll want to make them. Okay. I'm going to use 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. Now, I have made this recipe, fixed it where I can add in yogurt and sourdough starter. So, yeah. Okay. 3/4 cup of flour you're going to need. And I've got that somewhere here. Okay, let me move stuff around. Okay, I got a bowl here. Okay. Everything is kind of a jumble. I've got my flour already pre-measured out. That's 1 3/4 cup of flour. I hope I got a big enough bowl. Oops, I forgot something. Forgot salt. Gonna need 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm just putting it in the flour. So, and I'm using sea salt. Okay. Then to that we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And I've got that already measured out here. I'm going to give that a little turnabout here. A little bit of mixaroonie. Just a little bit. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I've got 8 ounces of blueberries. These are fresh. You could use frozen if you want. I'm going to take a little bit of my flour mixture, just a little bit like so, and sprinkle it on them. Give them a little tussle. Oh my goodness. Well, lost one. Oh well. Little tussle around with that flour. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. See, just like so. Okay. Now, let's see. Okay, now I want to put my sugar. I'm just going to add it in that flour. So, 3/4 cup of granulated sugar. Now my bowl's full, so yeah. Okay, that's 3/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1 3/4 cup of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt right there. Okay, now to my mixing bowl, because I am going to mix this in the KitchenAid. I'm going to put my melted butter, which is, let me find it on here. Okay, 1/2 cup of unsalted and melted butter. Put that in there like so. Could have very well done my other stuff first, but yeah. And I probably should have, you know, done the starter and the yogurt, but I didn't, so we'll go with it. Okay, and then to that I'm going to add 2/3 cup of whole room temperature milk. Okay. And then we're going to add in, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and put that starter in there. And I've been feeding this starter all-purpose flour and wheat flour. So, yeah, that's why it looks a little brown, because I do use wheat in this one. I did. to get all of that starter out. Okay, I believe I got it. Now, my Greek yogurt, just plain, this just plain yogurt. You can use whatever, I guess, plain yogurt you want to. If you don't have yogurt, you could probably even use sour cream. I wouldn't be surprised. Try to get all that out that I can. Didn't want to miss any. Okay. Okie dokie. Now, let's see, where we at? 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now I've got pure vanilla extract. Okay. Now, all we got left to do is put in, now that Greek yogurt was 1/4 of a cup. That sourdough starter was 1/4 of a cup, if I did not mention that. Now it's time to put in our 2 eggs. So, and they are at room temperature. So you're going to want to put in 2 eggs at room temperature. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the mix, on the KitchenAid, and I'm going to let that blend on like medium till it's mixed up. Then I'm going to put the flour in there and I'm going to mix that in slowly. You could have done like the milk with the in between. I didn't do that. I've seen some people do their recipes like that, but I just soon put it all together and be done with it. And then I'll put the flour and the sugar mixture in there, and then we'll fold in our berries last. I'll bring you back. Okay, now let's make a streusel. So I've got 1/2 cup of granulated sugar in here. Also, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of the all-purpose flour in with the granulated sugar. I'm just tossing them together here. I'll go in with my hands in a minute, or my fingers, because we're going to make a crumble to go on top of our blueberry muffins. Okay, now I've got 1/4 of a cup of unsalted. I used unsalted and it's softened, of butter. So then you go in with your hands, and this is where it gets messy because you're just mashing it up. See, like so, and just gonna keep mashing it up until you get crumbles with that butter. Take a few minutes. I'm getting in there like I'm making biscuits. Oh my goodness, I don't have it all over me. Look at that. Okay. But yeah, you just want to like make this crumbly top to go on top of the muffins. Make them more maybe bakery-ish or such style. And you can use a little bit more butter if you want to. I opted to use less. Sometimes less is more, because you got all that sugar and yeah, thinking, you know, these are really sweet, and but if you limit them, we'll be alright. That's the way we'll look at it. Okay, I'm just mashing it up good. Trying to get it where I want it to like make like a stick together, the whole amount to stick together. Even though it's not all wanting to do that. I probably should have put a little more butter. You might want to put just a tad bit more butter. Maybe another teaspoon or something. It's looking better. See, kind of like this consistency where I can just break it up on them. See, that's clumps. I can get it into that, like a bunch of clumps, and then you just break pieces up. It'll be more thickish, so to speak. Not all powdery. So I'm making clumps. Okay. I think I got that about as good as I'm gonna get it. So I'm gonna get ready and bring our mix over here. We gotta put our blueberries in it. Then we're gonna put them in the pie pan, or our muffin pan. Okay, now we're gonna fold in. See, I got it mixed. Fold in our blueberries. I am gonna stir the bottom of that a minute just to make sure, because sometimes flour will get hid in the bottom, down in the bottom of these KitchenAid bottles. Okay, fold in our blueberries and their little bit of flour. Okay, got that there. We got our streusel right here. Got hand lined with the cupcake papers. I went with white, no dye, I assume, or they may be dyed, I don't know, but you know, I figured maybe that's better than colored. Okay, and then I'm just going to fill them up and try not to make such a mess. So you don't have to watch me do this. Once I get them filled up, then I'll bring you back and put the topping on. Oh yeah, go ahead and preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Okay, that actually did 15. I put them pretty close to the top, but I'm gonna be putting this streusel. So yeah. Now I'm just taking my clumps and I'm just gonna kind of drizzle them. How, you know, you can keep it however thick you want it. I want some that's thicker pieces, some that's thinner, you know, just a kind of a mixture is what I'm aiming for, but you do it however you want. So there'll be some bigger pieces on mine and some smaller. Should be good though. And my oven runs a little hot, so I actually put the pizza stone on the bottom rack, same way I do when I'm baking my sourdough bread, to help with keeping some of that heat off of the bottom so they don't burn. And see, now it's kind of sticking together really good. Look at that. See? So yeah, I'm just putting my pieces, you know, just kind of doing it like so. But you do it however's best for you, and you can leave some of them plain if you want to. I should have saved some of the blueberries to actually go on top. That would have been nice if you're not putting the, well, even if you're putting the streusel on there, you can put some of the blueberries to go on top of it. And hopefully these turn out really good, is what I'm hoping for. but I did omit some of the wet and dry ingredients because I added yogurt and sourdough. So yeah. And if you want this thicker, you can actually make like double the amount of streusel to go on there. And I don't want to make any more for this, so I'm taking a little bit off of these that were thicker to try and have enough for all of these. Okay, that looks pretty good. Pretty good, if I do say so. Okay. Okay. Here's how they look. You can see. So I'm gonna put these in the oven. I'll be checking mine around 15 minutes. If your oven doesn't run hot, you could check yours around 20. And when they get golden brown on top, then I'm gonna take a toothpick and stick a toothpick in there and see. That's usually the way I like to do it. You could use a thermometer if you want to. While those are baking, I decided I'm going to make another batch of mixed berries. But I'm going to use the same recipe except for different berries in it. Exact same recipe though. And then I kept out some strawberries too for the topping. Or I may put strudel. I don't know. Or streusel. Yeah. Okay. Here they are. I could have let them get a little browner, but I think that's brown enough, and they are done. I stuck a toothpick in them. They come out clean. Over here's these. So yeah, I'm gonna put these on the rack and I'm gonna let them cool. Yeah, I mean, you could eat them hot if you like them hot, and but I'm gonna put them on a rack and let them cool. Then I'll show you the other ones. Okay, got the berries in here. Getting ready to fold them in, and after I get these baked, I will bring you back and show you how they look. But yeah, this is a mixture of blackberries, raspberries, and blackberries, and strawberries. Yeah. Okay, muffins. Blueberry, they're cooled completely. And they're good. They're good. I'm not going to eat it all though right now. That's too much. This here is the mixed berry. They didn't get too brown on the bottom. See, I'm not crazy over these paper things. But I'm taking that one off. See, they want to stick to your muffins. Okay, may not use them next time. Ooh, now this is the mixed berry. Oh, that's good. Those are good. These are made with fresh berries, so you could opt that out. You can use frozen berries. You could probably even use freeze-dried. I would not be surprised one bit, to be honest with you. I know people are using them in bread. So yeah, that's what I've got for you. Till next time.